Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakaha Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world heavenly calls God. Yahweh, meaning He exists. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world heavenly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahushai, meaning He is salvation. He saves. Bahashem, in the name. Rakaha Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth of risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwatim listeners, learning sincerity and the truth and the silence, Shalom. Akyam meaning brothers, Akwatim meaning sisters, Shalom, meaning peace be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. Right? Quick in transit. Right? This article here came out on Yahoo News today, Saturday, December 16th, 2023, the hopeful year that all these prophecies come to pass. And it says here, update: 3 shipping firms to avoid Suez Canal as Red Sea attacks increase. Right? So down there is becoming more and more volatile. I was reading another article that American warships, matter of fact, let me see if I can grab it. American warships and as well as yeah, it's right here. Right here it says Houthis launch more attacks in Red Sea as US warships head to the region, right? So down there is becoming volatile. But the main thing I wanted to touch on is the Suez Canal thing, man, because a lot of shipping goes through that canal. Let's read a little bit of this. This came out on Reuters News, but it says Yahoo, right? It says 2 major freight firms, including MCS, the world's biggest container shipping line, on Saturday said they would avoid the Suez Canal as Houthi militants in Yemen stepped up their assaults on commercial vessels in the Red Sea, right? Commercial vessels, shipping, man, food, commodities, electronics, CHIPS for automobiles, chips, right? Right, let's read. The Liberian flag MSC Palladium 3 was attacked on Friday with a drone in the Bab al-Mandab Strait off Yemen at the southern end of the Red Sea, according to the Houthis. No injuries were reported, but the vessel suffered some fire damage and was taken out of service. MSC said in a statement another Liberian flag vessel, Hapag Lloyd's Al Jazra, was hit by a missile, the U.S. military said. Right? I'm not gonna read any more on that, but I wanted to touch a scripture, man, because things are gonna escalate, right? But food, commodities, supplies. The Suez Canal is a large percent of the world's of the routing of the world's supply chain. Second Ezra 6. Second Ezra 6 and 22. And it reads, and suddenly, right? Suddenly, without warning, out of nowhere, right? Shall the sown places appear unsown? The sown places, farmers' fields, right? They shall appear, the planted places shall appear unplanted, unharvested. Right, that's going into food problems, man. That's going into crops not yielding its produce. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. The full storehouses right? This is going to the supply chain, man. Storehouses, the distribution centers, the supermarkets, right? These big bop corporate stores. The shelves are empty. Listen, you take a look around up here in Canada, man. There's no such thing as a stacked shelf anymore, man. Those days are gone. And people are just sleepwalking. It's become normal. So people aren't questioning things, man. Right? Abundance. There's no more abundance on the shelves. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Right? Them air horns, man. When missiles are incoming, right? You hear them air horns, and then you got to seek shelter immediately, right? That's a regular occurrence for those people over there in the Ukraine, people over there in Hamas, Palestine, right? North Korea, South Korea, Japan. Verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, right? People ain't gonna, the love of many is waxing colder and colder. People are not gonna regard whether or not they knew you or not, whether or not they developed a good rapport with you in the world. The times are coming where it's gonna be dog eat dog, right? Look at that movie that just came out, that's gone viral, Leave the World Behind. There's a scene where they're seeking medicine from a neighbor down the street, and the Jake gentleman knew the neighbor, and the neighbor had a shotgun out pointing at them, and he didn't want to give them jack shit. And Jake was like, yo, I know you, bro. You know? People ain't gonna care in that day. It's gonna be survival of the fittest. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, right? Fear. Great fear coming to this place. A vibration of fear. Right? Let's read. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right? The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. That's going into water issues, water shortages, polluted water, drought. Right? Listen, Jacob's trouble is not going to be no joke out here, man. Right? And when these ruling class elites, these Edomites, these banking families decide to shut down, turn off the grid, because they're going to turn off the grid, man. Right? That whole movie, leave the world behind, is predictive programming, man. Right? And where do these elites get? Where do these elites get the script from? The scriptures. Why are the elites doing these things, man? The Lord's putting the spirit on them to do it, man. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever, like as a river. I just butchered it. Let me get it. As a river, he turneth it whithersoever it goeth. Roughly paraphrasing. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? So the Lord puts a spirit on these rulers, these elites, these banking families, right? To create these devices. Because ultimately this is the Lord's will. Right? This is the Lord's will. But listen, the Lord's gonna starve out the Lord's gonna starve out this place, man. Right? If you think this the Suez Canal. All right, what do you another thing? What do you think these it's come to light that this beef over there in the Gaza is over two things. There's oil in the region, and they want to build another canal parallel to the Suez Canal within the Amalek's region. Right? Because they don't have control over the Suez, man. Egypt does. Right, but yeah, that's it on that, man. Right? That's it on that. It says here the Houthis, who rule much of Yemen, have pledged to continue their attacks until Israel stops its offensive, but said on Friday they were targeting only ships heading for Israel. Right, and this thing gonna get more and more volatile, man, because Israel's on the record of saying, that they're not gonna stop. Right, this thing's gonna get more and more volatile, man, and these Islamic nations, Yemen, Lebanon, Jordan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, right? They're all against Israel, man. Right? And some of these nations, they're no joke. Turkey has a mighty military, man. So does Iran. Iran's known for its drones. Right here, Bab al-Mandab is one of the world's most important routes for global seaborne commodity ships. Commodity shipments, particularly crude oil and fuel from the Gulf bound westward for the Mediterranean via the Suez Canal or the nearby Sund pipeline, as well as commodities heading eastward for Asia, including Russian oil. The rise in Red Sea war risk premiums translates into tens of thousands of dollars of extra costs for a 7-day voyage, right? And everything's gonna reflect that. Inflation is gonna reflect that, man. Fuel, people think it's nice right now. People think it's blessed. Fuel hasn't moved. Interest rates, right? Where's that scripture in 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra 16 verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, right? Low interest rates, cheap gas, $1.99 bargain, Dollarama, dollar stores, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right. So the times of living high on the hog, everything's blessed, everything's easy to attain, cheap 2% interest rates, $1.99 specials. Right, people thought everything's good. It's going to be like that forever. But it says here, even then shall evils grow upon the earth. What kind of evils? Sword, right? The sword being a killing instrument, right? And what's today's sword? The modern day sword, the stick, the heater, the blicky. Famine and great confusion. Famine. People gonna starve out here, man. You know what I mean? Great confusion. This place is confused. Babal. Babylon, Babal, the Hebrew word for confusion is Babal. Right, this place is nothing but confusion. Moles everywhere. Drag racers. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? Listen, you get where you escape the famine from starving to death. Guess what? You're gonna die a violent death by the sword, the killing instrument. Verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. Right? Nobody to gather these dead bodies. No 911, no ambulances. 911 is going to be shut down, man, in the time of Jacob's trouble. And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. Right? And these are the times that are coming to this place, man. A time like no other. So with that, stay prayed up, prayer without ceasing. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles. I'm Elders of Great Millstone, or Teach One and Rule Well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.